Are the mega rich and billionaires the enemy? No, but are they a problem? Yes. Today we're going over how to talk about the mega rich. If we want to achieve our goals at We the People Are the Boss, we have to be able to give a clear answer to the biggest resistance to our aim of dramatically reducing the wealth gap. Today's discussion is going to give you tools to talk about how handling the mega rich wisely is critical. There's going to be a lot more posts here on this topic, but this will be a great foundation for you. Great business leaders are useful to society. Some people really do see what nobody else saw. Some really do bet everything when the whole world says they're crazy. That's rare. It should pay big when they succeed. Stop paying builders, and they stop building. But here's the problem in one picture. Bottom of the chart. How much reward one individual gets, a C-suite executive, a founder, an entrepreneur, an investor. On the side, how much good everybody else gets, society broadly. At the start, they rise together. Pay people more to create good incentives, and the benefit to citizens gets better. More companies, more inventions. That whole left side is where the helpful in great business leaders comes in. But a hill has a top. And past the top, individuals keep winning while everybody else starts losing. That is where you see society not just stop winning, but actually losing gains when we overcompensate our business leaders. Two questions we want to answer here. Why does the benefit to society stop climbing as you increasingly reward business leaders? And why does the far side go down instead of flat, meaning society's gains from rewarding business leaders actually turns to losses? Pick any giant American company. If the founder had never been born, would that service or product category exist anyway? Almost always yes. Somebody else a year or two later. Search engines were going to happen. Smartphones were going to happen. The technology was ready, and a dozen teams were racing to the same finish line. In today's world, we're well down the path of minting numerous new billionaires in AI, robotics, new energy, data centers, and more. It's inevitable on our current path. And let's certainly incentivize business leaders to do everything possible to accelerate that trajectory and bring better services and products to market more quickly. Let's just not give them all the economic upside. It's our investment that we're not getting the return on. How is it our investment? Let's take a look. Thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of people do the work at our biggest companies. Public schools trained them. Public research invented half the parts. Public courts protect the patents and contracts. Our transportation and telecommunication infrastructure are critical to the economy. And so much more. By far, the most important ingredients are all the elements that society brings. Individuals, while useful, are just a small part of the equation. Sometimes a company even wins in spite of the person at the top and their bad decisions. The system makes the money. The over-reward to the business leader happens because the American population is divided on culture war items, so they can't unite to restructure the system to properly reward business leaders. On this point, we have a great article at the website. Go check it out. Capitalism needs winners. It doesn't need to give away the farm. So back to our graph. After the top, why down and not flat? Because past a certain size, sometimes the fastest way to get richer stops being grow the pie it becomes take a bigger slice of the pie, even if it means shrinking the pie. There are two ways to do that. The first way, take it from the market. Buy the competitor that was about to beat you and shut it down. Raise the price. Where else are your customers going to go? Make the product a little worse every year. Cheaper parts. Fewer people answering the phone. More ads. That's not sloppiness. Somebody ran the numbers and decided it led to more profit. But society suffers. The pie gets smaller. The second way, and this is the scarier one, rewrite the rule book. For the past 40, 50, 60 some odd years, working people have barely been organized, and the very rich were extremely organized. So they went to work on the rules, tax law, over and over, labor law, until almost nobody could join a union, executive compensation, venture capital and private equity making our country's innovation a funnel to the wealthy. They made income that just sits in a bank or hedge fund get taxed less than money you earn by putting in a hard day's work. They took the tax breaks while the debt exploded. Nobody stole anything. The wealthy just organized around the idea of writing the rules in their favor. Here's one list, and this is just tax law. One small portion of the rules we're talking about. Go visit it. Hundreds of tax code items that wildly disproportionately benefit the mega rich. Tax benefits for the wealthy. So what did that system buy us? How many American kids grow up to earn more than their parents did? Born in 1940, 92 out of 100. Born in 1984, 50 of 100. One lifetime, and the near guarantee turned into a coin flip. And you probably don't need a crystal ball to realize we haven't been improving since 1984. And this isn't happening because growth slowed down. Economists checked. About 70% of that drop came from where the growth went, not how much of it there was. The total US economic pie kept getting bigger. It just stopped reaching the average person. Now that part we just reviewed, the reducing benefits to society economically, would on its own be enough to demand big change. But some of this damage isn't a smaller number on a chart. It's a different kind of thing. First, enough money buys you out of the law. Purdue Pharma, the quote opioid crisis family, pleaded guilty to federal crimes twice. This past April, it was sentenced. Billions in fines. Nobody in the family that owned it has ever been charged with anything. And as the lawsuits came, they pulled $11 billion out of the company. 3/4 of everything it had. That family should have nothing from the harm they caused. They saw it coming and moved the money first. Or take the 2008 deal that let Jeffrey Epstein serve 13 months and leave the jail 6 days a week. The point isn't that rich people commit crimes. It's that above a certain number, you get a different legal system. One where justice for society is much harder to come by. A quick point here. Until the Epstein files are fully released and the redactions removed, you know both parties are protecting, quote, their people. Second, enough money buys the government. The 400 richest families pay about 8% of their income in federal income tax. A teacher making $60,000 pays around double that. That's what lobbying can do along with massive campaign contributions. Elon Musk alone donated over $300 million to get Trump elected, and he got to play around with the federal government via Doge as a reward. The mega rich are deciding far too much of our policy with campaign contributions. Third, enough money buys what the country hears. The newspapers and platforms where you find out what's happening can be bought by one person with money they will never miss, which is why this story never quite gets told straight. Want a more thorough rundown of a lot of these harms to society? Go check out this article on our website, How the Megarich Cause Massive Harm to American Society. And none of that harm needs anybody to be a bad person. The negatives to society would still all be true if every one of them were a saint. It's about what that much power does, no matter who is holding it. So, build something great and get rich, enviably rich. That's the left side of the hill, and it works. We just need to make the far side impossible to reach. That's not how it is under our current rules. People wrote those rules, and rules written by people can be rewritten by people. A quick recap. Society, its people broadly, and our talent and resources as a society are the key ingredients in economic growth. The current mega rich are getting way overcompensated. And even if they weren't getting overcompensated, mega rich are also harming society by rewriting the rules in their favor and by using their power for harm. What do we recommend? Let's find the sweet spot and start managing the system as citizens. At We the People Are the Boss, we're not leaving this up to the parties to change things. We're making sure the people, regardless of party, are the ones who guarantee the change happens. Parties are pointless when neither of them removes the impact of greed, power, and conflicts of interest. If you believe that, go to WTPATB.com and get involved. We really want to see you there. And remember, in the US of A, you are the boss.